Rules every man must follow to stay strong at 70 plus. Have you ever wondered why, as people get older, talking about sex becomes almost taboo? Like it's a secret locked behind closed doors? What if I told you that sexual intimacy can still thrive at 70, 80, even 90 years old? Not just a theory, but a fact grounded in real-life experiences. And yet, because of unnecessary embarrassment, so many people in midlife miss the signs, neglect the changes, and slowly lose something truly precious: a vibrant, loving connection. Welcome to Live Stoic, Live Strong, where we trade illusions for truth, where emotions are felt but not obeyed, where clarity is power and discipline is freedom. This is not just a channel. It's a mindset. It's a journey of conscious living. Let's begin. Thomas was the kind of man you didn't forget, not because of his words, but because of the quiet strength in his presence. At 30, his life looked like success. He had a loving wife, a modest home filled with laughter, and a heart full of ambition. By 40, he had built stability, a steady career, healthy children, and a marriage others quietly admired. But when Thomas turned 50, something changed. Not with noise or drama, just a quiet shift. Like a room where the light fades slowly, unnoticed at first. Family dinners were still warm. The house still echoed with familiar routines. But somewhere between the morning coffee and late-night television, Thomas felt a distance growing between him and his wife. They still talked, but not about what mattered. He felt his body changing. He noticed how often he stayed silent, too unsure to name the loneliness creeping in. And in the stillness of early mornings, while shaving or staring into the mirror, a question would rise inside him. Am I just getting older, or slowly fading away? Then one rainy Saturday, while scrolling his phone in the quiet of the living room, Thomas came across an article: How to Keep Love Alive at 70. He paused, he read, and something inside him stirred. The message was simple, but profound. Age doesn't kill love. Silence does. Fear does. Distance does. That afternoon, Thomas made a quiet promise to himself. I won't let this slip away. He started small. Morning walks, less coffee, more water, a return to journaling. But more importantly, he began speaking again. Not in grand speeches, but with honesty. Without pride. Without blame. He told his wife what he'd been feeling, what he missed, what he still hoped for. And she, kind, thoughtful, and always quietly watching, listened. For the first time in a long time, they looked at each other and really saw. They began again, slowly, a gentle hand on the back, a spontaneous laugh, a shared playlist on a quiet Sunday morning. Their love wasn't loud anymore. It didn't need to be. It was steady, grounded, deep. Now at 60, Thomas no longer measured his worth by his job title or his physique. He felt strong in his vulnerability, powerful in his presence, and grounded in the love he rebuilt, not just with his wife, but with himself. He had finally learned one truth that changed everything. Love doesn't fade with time. It matures. It roots deeper. It becomes unshakable. From the bottom of my heart, I want to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you, no matter where you are in the world, for taking the time to watch this video. Your presence and support are the driving force that keeps me creating and sharing. No words can truly capture the depth of my appreciation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing. And thank you for walking this journey with me. As we journey through life and the years start to add up, it's common for conversations around sex to slowly disappear. Many people, especially the elderly, shy away from even the most honest discussions about physical intimacy or emotional disconnection in marriage. For some reason, they feel that talking openly about such matters is somehow inappropriate or even shameful. But here's the truth no one tells you enough. For older adults, a fulfilling sex life is not just a bonus. It's a powerful marker of long-term happiness and emotional health. It reflects closeness, care, and ongoing partnership. Unfortunately, due to that deep-rooted discomfort, many people entering their 40s and 50s ignore early physical and emotional signs that could greatly influence their quality of life later on. Let's dig into some important truths that deserve your attention. Did you know that most men can continue having sex well into their 70s? Some even maintain a satisfying sex life into their 80s, and a rare few still experience desire well into their 90s. Yes, you heard that right. One of the most misunderstood ideas is the belief that aging robs us of our physical capacity for intimacy. But in reality, what fades is not physiological function, it's reproductive function. And these two are not the same thing. Let's clarify that. Reproductive function refers to the ability to conceive, while physiological function is about desire, arousal, and response. These are two separate chapters in the same book. Losing one doesn't mean losing the other. Now let's talk about timing. For younger people, sexual activity often happens late at night, after a full day of work or daily stress. But for the elderly, that schedule might not work as well. Why? Because the body is naturally more tired at the end of the day. Muscles ache, energy drops, and the desire may fade with fatigue. So what's the better option? Many experts, and elderly couples themselves, find that after a good night's sleep or early in the morning, when the body feels rested and light, intimacy feels more enjoyable and less pressured. It becomes less about performance and more about connection. Still, there's no fixed rule. Some may find comfort in a quiet afternoon, others in spontaneous moments during the day. As long as the environment is peaceful and both partners feel healthy, there's no wrong time for closeness. Intimacy in old age isn't about routine. It's about rhythm, emotion, and presence. And now comes the golden question everyone eventually asks, but hesitates to voice aloud. How often is enough? It's one of the most frequently whispered questions among couples in their later years. But here's the good news. There's no universal number. The key is what feels right for you and your partner. According to a long-term study from Aurora, a general guide based on age and health would look something like this. In your 50s, once a week is often ideal. In your 60s, about once every 2 weeks is perfectly healthy. By your 70s, 3 to 4 times a month is great. And over 80? About once every month to 6 weeks is absolutely normal and meaningful. No matter the number, the deeper value lies in the emotional connection, mutual respect, and physical comfort you share. It's not about chasing youth. It's about honoring love in the phase you're in. So yes, sex in old age matters. It's real, beautiful, and entirely within reach. And now, having laid the foundation, let's move into something just as essential. How can you prepare, physically, emotionally, and mentally, to ensure intimacy in older age becomes not just possible, but deeply fulfilling? So we've uncovered the truth. Intimacy in older age isn't just possible, it's deeply meaningful. But to truly enjoy it, you need not only desire, but the right mindset and approach. Let's talk about how to make it genuinely satisfying. Yes, if your physical health is stable and your energy levels feel good, then by all means, shorten the emotional distance and increase the frequency of intimacy as your heart desires. Just remember, Everything needs to align with your body's actual capacity. It's not about pushing limits, but about harmonizing desire with well-being. The goal is simple yet essential. Enjoy the moment without exhausting yourself. Now, before anyone over the age of 50 starts planning how to enhance their sex life, Sophia offers 5 heartfelt, practical pieces of advice drawn from real experiences, not theory. Let's walk through each one together. First, don't let age weigh down your spirit. Worrying too much about your age during intimacy can lead to unnecessary tension and performance anxiety. That kind of mental stress doesn't help. It hinders. Instead, let go. Embrace the stage of life you're in. You've earned the right to relax, to express, to feel joy without judgment. And here's a gentle reminder. Aging may soften certain boundaries, but it also frees you from the pressure of perfection. So rather than dwelling on what's changed, focus on what's beautiful now. Let your mind linger on your strengths, on the quiet confidence that comes with experience. That alone can awaken a powerful kind of self-assurance, and your partner will feel it too. Second, foreplay is no longer optional. It's essential. There's a common misconception that foreplay exists mainly for women. But as men grow older, they too begin to need this gentle emotional warm-up. Foreplay becomes not just romantic, but therapeutic. It eases the body into relaxation, it soothes the mind, and it gently awakens arousal. Here's a tip. Try increasing the foreplay time by about 2 to 5 minutes every 5 years as you age. For instance, if you're 50, around 10 minutes might be good. By 55, extend it to 12 or even 15 minutes. Take your time. Let the moment breathe. Think of it like warming up a fine vintage wine. It needs time to open, to bloom. This isn't just technique, it's connection. And for couples over 50, this slow, mindful rhythm can help prolong intimacy and deepen satisfaction. Third, take the lead. Own your desires. Too often, men hesitate to express what they need. They stay quiet, afraid of seeming needy or weak. But silence creates distance. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. Be brave, be clear, say what you feel. When you're with your partner, especially in intimacy, don't be afraid to initiate, to ask, to express. Women crave a man who is present, honest, and confident. A man who can guide gently, share openly, and express his needs without hesitation. So go ahead. Tell her what you love, what brings you joy. Ask her to join in. Let the experience be a shared creation, not just a silent ritual. It's not about being dominant. It's about being emotionally available and sexually aware. Confidence and communication go hand in hand. And there's more to come. Because beyond confidence, beyond connection, there are still 2 more vital pieces of advice that could transform your experience in ways you may not expect. So we've talked about mindset, confidence, and communication, but there's still more you can do to keep your intimate life thriving well into your golden years. Let's continue with the 4th piece of advice, and this one might surprise you. 4th, coffee. Yes, your everyday cup can be a safe, natural stimulant that supports sexual vitality. According to recent studies, just 1 200 milliliters cup of coffee can boost insulin levels in men by up to 30% in a short span of time. But that's not all. It also stimulates the nervous system, helping you feel less fatigued while heightening your body's sensitivity to touch and external stimulation. In other words, coffee isn't just a morning pick-me-up. It can quietly enhance your physical response and awaken your senses. And for men, this effect can even lead to better and stronger performance when it counts. However, As with anything powerful, balance is key. The same research also cautions that too much caffeine may have the opposite effect. Overindulgence can reduce effectiveness or trigger unwanted tension. That's why the ideal limit is around 300 milliliters per day, enough to energize without overloading your system. So next time you sip that warm cup, think of it not just as a routine, but as part of your vitality ritual. Fifth, stop worrying about penis size. It doesn't define your worth, your pleasure, or your partner's satisfaction. Here's the truth. For men, the size of the penis essentially stops changing after puberty. From age 50 onward, there can be a gradual shrinkage of 1 to 3 centimeters, a completely natural and medically accepted change. But don't let that shake your confidence. Why? Because by this age, women, especially those of the same generation, are far less concerned with size and far more in tune with connection, affection, and emotional intimacy. What truly matters now are the things that happen outside of penetration, the soft caresses, the emotional warmth, the tender touches. These external influences, as experts call them, actually have a stronger impact on satisfaction than you might imagine. Understand this shift and everything changes. Lovemaking becomes gentler, deeper, more emotionally rich. It's no longer a race, it's a rhythm. And when you embrace that rhythm, intimacy after 50, even after 90, becomes more meaningful than ever before. But here's the deeper truth, the one many avoid talking about. After age 50, effectiveness becomes the key word. Not quantity, not comparison, just emotional and physical effectiveness. Why? Because things do change. Bodies change. Hormones change. Even the way we approach pleasure must adapt. In Aurora, a revealing study found that many couples stop being intimate altogether after the age of 50. And that's not just about desire. It often signals deeper cracks in the foundation of the relationship. Imagine this. If the average lifespan is around 70 years, and we stop being intimate at 50, that leaves 2 full decades, 20 years, without one of life's most beautiful forms of connection. That's not just time passing. That's 30% of your entire life, lived without one of its greatest joys. Think about it. Would you really want to let go of that much potential for love, connection, and happiness, just because of a lack of understanding or outdated beliefs? So yes, learning about intimacy after 50 isn't just interesting, it's life-changing. The more you understand, the more empowered you become to live fully, lovingly, and without regret. And speaking of understanding, there's still one more crucial element we haven't touched yet, one that can make or break your ability to enjoy intimacy in older age. Age doesn't take away your power. Silence does. Shame does. Fear does. Intimacy isn't about youth. It's about presence. It's about choosing connection when the world says you're too old. It's about owning your truth. Body, mind, and soul. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real and brave enough to keep loving. Live with depth. Love with courage. Grow stronger with every passing year. Thank you for your time. If an idea in this video touched you, let it settle in your heart. Each time you return, you might hear something new. Perhaps it will reach even deeper. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. See you in the next video, where we'll take another step together on this journey of inner discovery.